once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso.
YouTube, what it do? It's your man's WeaponizedEX back again with another video. So today we're gonna actually be doing the follow-up video to our last one. It's Moscow Hardpoint 101. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like you're learning a little something. If you got some tips of your own, definitely drop them in the comment section. A big part of what we do on this channel is just helping people get better. So this I feel like is the perfect map to kind of break down Hardpoint on in the first place. This is why I wanted to do this map. It gives you a little bit of everything. You get to see a little bit of a lot of those different like classic Hardpoint situations. So it's like a good gameplay to break down. Really, this ended up being a pretty good game for me and my teammates here. The one guy I was partied up with, shout out to the homie Beetlejuice, and then we had a couple of randoms. But the main key is the first, like, basically 2 points. I'm kind of still using my outline from the last video. Rotations and locations. All four of us on this squad right now, even though it's just like 2 partied up people and 2 randoms, everybody on this squad right now, you'll notice, knows where the hardpoint goes. We know where to rotate to. We know when to rotate out. That's a huge fundamental that I think a lot of people overlook that, because it's like, you would think, oh, that's basic. And a lot of people, they know it, but it's not ingrained in them to the point where they can do it automatically. Like, you can be aware of something, but until you're doing it automatically, you don't really know it. You know, if that makes sense. So, for example, right here, none of us are really thinking too hard about, you know, where the hill is going and where we and when we need to rotate. We're just kind of doing it, and that's how you want it to be. And that's the reason why these kids actually just got stomped so hard. It's really a case of like mid to high tier hardpoint plays versus like, I don't want to say like mid to like mid high tier versus like this low tier hardpoint gameplay. Because like I said in the last video, these guys are forcing themselves into a situation where they're constantly having to push into us as we're holding hill. Now watch this play I make right here. So I'm pushing out and end up spawning my 2 teammates out of that hill with me with 8 seconds left. So what that does is that gives our whole team kind of like a head start here, rotating off the hard point. Those guys made the mistake because they pushed in. Like I said last video, they pushed in for that last 10 seconds thinking, okay, we're getting some slays, these guys, hold is getting a little weak. Let's push in and get these last 10-15 seconds. What happens? We all spawn on the new hill, they all spawn on the old one. Now they gotta run back into, you know, me holding head glitches back here, you know, my teammate responding to communication, you know, playing trades, and now it's the same situation. They gotta run across the map only to find themselves going up against somebody hiding on a, you know, creddy angle or like a head glitch, and just to get lit up again. So going on to the next 2 points, that's the kind of like more so the mid tier, or more so the next thing is like just knowing how to hold and break hills. Even that situation right there was a huge play on my teammate right there. So he's the key guy. He's kind of the guy holding the spawns for us here. You can see I'm rotating out again, getting ready, anticipating these guys pushing this new hill, just ready for them to be here. But I called out that kid was hard flanking him to try to get spawns. He not only kills the guy in front of him, is able to turn around, punch that guy, and make him one shot. I play his trade, and now those 2 guys are dead, spawning away from the hill. We're still spawning in hill, and we get the rotation to the next. Now look what's happening. Again, they're in the same exact situation. They're literally running through an artillery truck to get to the hill, while me and my teammates are just set up, you know, ARs out, just like beaming them as they're running towards us. That's exactly how you want to do people in Hardpoint. You know, if you can get them spawning away from the objective and make it a situation where they have to run at you, I mean, it's just going to be easy picks. You know, it could be easy picks all day. So that's the kind of situation you want to create. Like, our whole team's positive right now. So, what these guys need to do as far as breaks is making sure they're getting their trades and kind of getting like those +1s, I like to call them. A +1 is where you get a kill you're supposed to get, and then you get a kill you're not supposed to get. That's a +1. So a lot of that, and when people are holding hills, that takes a lot of coordination. So here, they've got the hold here, but look at what happens. My teammate pushes in, he gets killed, rightfully so. My teammate pushes in, he gets killed, you know, gets a trade. I push in, I get that kill. My other teammate, he's still holding down the front. Now we've got 2 teammates wrapping around the back. So a lot of trades coming in, and then what happens? our one teammate gets a kill. Maybe he shouldn't have gotten pushed that guy out of hill. I slide in behind these two kids pushing up. I get a kill I'm supposed to get. What do? I slide in. Help my teammate. I get a kill I'm not supposed to get. I get a +1. Now we've got this hold. They have the enemy team holding out or spawning out. So while all of that's happening, too, an important thing to pay attention to is my teammate who rotated around for spawns. So he's spawning them out now. And that's a huge thing that is like will kind of put you on another tier in hardpoint gameplay. Is just knowing how to play those spawns. Because like, look at what's happening. These kids are, it's kind of like sad. It's like these kids are just running at us the whole game because they're spawning away from the objective and just getting melted. So as far as like what we talked about last game about tiers of knowledge, like even here, I'm just reading these guys because I know, okay, this is an office push. I know that push is coming. I'm holding this angle. And like while they're looking at my teammates and trying to slide that table for cover, I'm just going to pick them from the side. And like just easy class on those guys. We shut that entire push down. Where the tiers come in is there's certain things you just have to know already. So it takes a lot of brain power, really, honestly, to like make sure you're really like beaming and hitting your shots correctly, make sure you're making good reads on people. You shouldn't be thinking about where the hill's gonna go and when to rotate. You should, like a lot of people think they know to do that, but you should have it to the point where you don't have to think about it and you do it perfectly, really without thinking. And that does take a lot of reps. It does take like watching film and doing different things, but once you get that down, it's gonna allow you to start thinking, hey, you know, what is my opponent gonna do? So here we know they're holding the hill. My one teammate gets picked up, gets kind of killed in an untradeable situation. So what I do to kind of even the odds, I put in artillery. I get a +1 right there. That's basically a +1. It's like a free kill. So I get a free kill there. Me and my teammates slide in. These guys, one of them is not holding spawns correctly. So that's another +1. That's a kill I shouldn't get. So off of a couple of kills that maybe we shouldn't get, and then the kills that, you know, where I get killed, my opponent's getting traded out, we're pretty much controlling that. And that's kind of the stuff you want to focus on. Once you get the basics down and you know where the hard points go, you know all the routes, and you know basically like the very, very basics, you need to start focusing on making sure you're holding hills correctly. Which is going to come down to holding spawns, and then you need to start making sure, hey, you know, if we got to break a hill, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to make sure we're trading out kills that need to be traded out. We're going to make sure we're winning our individual gunfights, which honestly comes down to anticipating how your opponent's going to play defense. Like if you're pushing a hill, you should know. That's something you're going to have to kind of study too. You should know the common places that people hold, the common angles people will use to try to, you know, to try to set up on a hill. So here I know these kids are, I know he's going to be on that corner because everybody holds that corner. I know they're going to be on globe right there. And look at the way I'm playing. You got to play your role too. So because I have a sub in my hand, look at how much of my movement I'm using to get in here and get these +1s. Like look at how I'm doing that. I'm using my movement to just really make myself a hard target and kind of just constantly blitz the enemy team. I got a teammate who's doing the same thing. He makes a pocket flank. It kind of hits those guys from behind real quick. We held this hill a little bit too long, so I think they ended up with P1 control. And then here I'm just anticipating. Again, it comes down to making reads. I know there's going to be kids coming up behind here. Those two guys, I knew they spawned back here. I knew they would be rotating in right here. So those are the two kills I was looking for. I knew this guy would be here because I already knew he was in the hill contesting because I saw him go by. And then here it's just us trading out kills. He kills me, but our teammate, you know, attempts to trade him out, which, you know, is even the attempt to trade him out to back him off is good, you know. So again, that's just, you know, once you start, the better you can get, the more so on the higher level, you start getting more into anticipating where people are. Once you know how to break and hold correctly, you're holding spawns the right way. You want to get all of that down and get as many reps on that as you can to where you're doing it automatically without thinking. Then you move on to, hey, can I start reading people? Once you start just having this instinct where you just know what people are going to do, that's how you know you're getting good at hardpoint. When you get to that point where you just know where people are going to go, where people are going to be, you're constantly just ready for those gunfights. My teammate here, he knows he's going to have guys holding. He knows there's going to be a kid holding that corner. He's going in, gunning up, ready to shoot. These kids got destroyed. 100-point club. But that's going to do it for this video. Just a little quick breakdown to kind of follow up on what we talked about last time. And just to kind of show, like, you know, the application of everything that we worked on. And to be honest, you know, kind of mid to high tier gameplay, to be honest. Like, you know, there's some things we could have did better, honestly. But looking at the team we're playing against, or people we're playing against, that's exactly what you don't want to do. So just to kind of give you guys an example of some situations you don't want to set up for yourself in Hardpoint. Just a little bit more in depth on some of the fundamentals, and also how to, like, hey, layer your fundamentals to where you get the basics to where you don't have to think about it anymore. Then you start going advanced, which will always be, hey, making sure you're playing your role correctly, making sure you're positioning yourself the right way if you're an AR or you're a sub, and make sure you're reading your opponent. You're anticipating what they're going to do before they do it. So that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Definitely drop a like or a comment if you guys feel like you're learning a little something, or if you just like the content. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I go by the name of WeaponizedEX. Thank you so much for watching.